Babs, and welcome to our debut show. Guess what? We are on the air. Hi, my name is Babs, and welcome to the Funkenstein Wrestling Roundup. This is our debut episode. I'm very excited about this, and I have a great guest this week. I'll be talking with Colin West from UWA Elite. He's a commentator there, and he's also the owner of CTW, which is Change the World Wrestling. Very looking forward to talking with him tonight. But first, I wanted to talk a little bit about the show and introduce myself. My name is Babs. For those who don't know, I'm formerly of Chikara. I did 2 podcasts there. I was the intrepid reporter for Chikara. I did 2 podcasts. I did Chikara in 15 Minutes or Less and Chatting with the Chikarmi. So I have some experience with interviews and working on podcasts and radio and things like that. Now I'm with Excellence Pro. I'm the administrative assistant to Edgar Excellence, who is our head cat of Excellence. The head cat of Excellence. And so I'm really excited. This is the first time I've done a live show. I've never done live before. So I'm hoping you guys are all going to join this journey with me. So like I said, I'm very excited to have the guest. I'm also very, very happy and thankful to be sponsored by the Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore, which is in the Englishtown Market. And you can only hear us here on Damage 365 Radio Network. So what we'll do is, I'm hoping you'll enjoy this interview. What we'll do is we're going to go to commercial first. And then when I come back from commercial, it'll be about 2 minutes, we're going to have Colin on and we're going to talk about wrestling and all kinds of interesting news and everything that's coming up, especially UWA's Dangerous Uprisings, which is coming up this Saturday. So we'll be going to commercial, and when we come back, I will be live with Colin.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Hello, ladies. The Big Valboski here, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio.
Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore, selling wrestling memorabilia from all around the world, including WWE, TNA, Japan, Mexico, and the very best of the independents. They've got action figures, DVDs, autographed memorabilia, t-shirts, and more. Plus, stop in and get tickets for great promotions like UWA Elite, CZW, and many others. Located indoors at the world-famous Englishtown Flea Market, Green Building, booth number 35 on 90 Wilson Avenue, Manalapan Township, New Jersey. Open every Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Log on to Facebook.com/Funkenstein Inc. for more information.
This is the War Machine Rhino, the last ever ECW World Heavyweight Champion, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio. Keep listening, or you'll get gored in half.
WarriorsOfWrestling.com. See roster profiles of past and present Warriors of Wrestling stars. Over 50 highlight videos of Warriors of Wrestling events, full-length matches, order tickets to future Warriors of Wrestling events, and an extensive DVD collection featuring past events, compilations, documentaries, and much, much more. Only at WarriorsOfWrestling.com.
This is Lanny Poffo, formerly the genius full of glory and renown. You are listening to Damage 365 Radio.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Hi, thank you for staying with us during the commercial, and we are back, and I am here with Colin West. Colin, thank you for joining me tonight on the debut episode. Colin? Seems we're having a little bit of a technical difficulty. Let me see if I can get Colin back. I seem to have lost Colin. I'm going to try to give him a call, see if we can't get him back on the air. Little technical difficulties for the first episode. We had tested this and it worked, so let me try and see what we can do with this. So, Colin?
Yeah.
Oh. The magic of live radio, I'm discovering. So hopefully we will get Colin on in a few moments. And so while we're waiting, I'm looking very much forward to UWA Elite's Dangerous Uprisings, which is this Saturday. There's going to be huge matches. They also have a Cowboy Bob Orton, so I'm very much looking forward to that. And hopefully Colin is with us now. Colin, are you there?
Colin's been here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. We lost you. The magic of live radio.
Fantastic.
The magic of live radio.
Thank you. Shout out, we got a lot of listeners. I don't know if you know this. Shout out to Steve Scott telling me I blew the opening spot. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. No pressure.
Well, as long as I didn't blow the opening spot, so I'm thankful to him for that. So thanks, Steve. I really appreciate that. So,
not a problem.
You know, it's funny. We were talking before the show, and you had mentioned Rhino. And it was funny because Rhino was in the commercial from our great sponsors. So
you know what? It's serendipitous. I have a word-a-day calendar, and that was one of the words recently, so I'm using it. It was serendipitous. It's really funny. Like, he looks really good in that suit, in that picture, in that, like, mustard yellow suit.
Mm-hmm. I love the Bob Backlund shout-out bow tie.
I do. I absolutely love it. Maybe we should tell the people what we're talking about if they don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. It was announced that Rhino is running for office, I believe, in Dearborn, Michigan. So he's put he's throwing his hat in the political ring, from the wrestling ring to the political ring.
Can you do us all a favor and just skip right to president? Can you run for president as independent? Can we get that done?
You know, I would vote for Rhino.
I would vote for Rhino. Absolutely. The Gore Party.
Gore Party.
I would do it.
I like that.
So Al Gore would have to be his vice, right?
I know.
That.
Oh.
Yes, I would vote for the Rhino Al Gore ticket. I totally would.
You know, I would. That would be great. You know, balance of, all kinds of environmental issues. You know, tables, recycling
Absolutely.
old tables, and it'd be great. Balanced ticket right there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it would be fantastic. Rhino, I was really thrilled and honored to work with Rhino at the first CTW show back last April, or almost a year ago, and he's actually coming back to the area. I believe April 30th at the JAPW show in Salem. So if you're a fan of Jersey All Pro Wrestling, get out and see Rhino before he becomes a public figure and a politician.
Yeah, really, do it now. You know, get behind that. Support Rhino. Vote Rhino 2016.
Absolutely, Rhino 2016. Ever think you would say that?
Yeah, no, never. It's amazing. The world of politics is quite amazing.
Absolutely, I'm all for it.
You know.
By the way, Eric Corvus, if you're listening, the Colin West absolutely counted one. That's a little inside. That's Colin and Eric is your what would you call it, broadcasting team for UWA Elite. Mm-hmm. And Eric has told me everybody has a word that they jump to when they're nervous or they're trying to transition and they're not sure what to say next. Mm-hmm. And I say absolutely at least 400 times per supercard. So.
You know, that's a good word. Mine is definitely. I like definitely a lot. That's a little inside joke to someone listening out there. So definitely.
Totally, definitely, 100%.
Oh, hey,
100%, totally.
It's better than or like. So,
It's very true.
I feel like we're already doing a little bit better than that. You mentioned something. You mentioned CTW. So I'd like to talk about that. I want to jump in and talk about that. Tell everyone, what is CTW?
CTW is the reason I have no money. We're not shooting. Okay.
You can shoot if you want.
Promote this.
Go for it.
No. Okay. CTW.
I put the target up. Go for it.
CTW started as a great idea and ended up as a financial drain on my life. But really what it is, CTW has changed the world of wrestling. It started in late 2014 as kind of an idea. A very good friend of mine, Vinny, who went by Vin Grayson as a pro wrestler in UWA Elite and other places. Really great guy, good wrestler, even better person. Deals with cystic fibrosis, which is a really horrible disease that affects about 70,000 people in the United States. And the problem with that is what cystic fibrosis does. Is it doesn't allow your body to process mucus correctly, among other things. And it inhibits your lung functions, and eventually you choke to death at a young age. And it's a horrible, horrible disease. But because not enough people in the U.S. have it, the government will not fund research for it. It's called an orphan disease. So we decided to do something about it. We put on a show last April, Fight Cystic Fibrosis, in Bridgewater. We had a really nice turnout. We made over $1,000 for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, which for our first show we were very proud about. Had people like Rhino, Tito Santana, Jimmy Snuka was there at the show. Justin Credible was at the show. And it's basically a who's who of New York and New Jersey independent pro wrestling talent. We're going to a few more shows later that year for South Amboy Little League, for the Roxy and Dukes Arts Foundation. And that's kind of what we do. It's not a labor of money, more of a labor of love. And that's kind of where we are right now.
That's really amazing that you're able to raise, that much money for such a really great cause. Can you talk about like some of the other causes you've been involved with, or how you kind of choose those?
Right. It's kind of arbitrary at this point. I mean, we kind of have just done things that have mattered to people that we know and love. Of course, like Vinny is just a great guy, altogether great guy. I'm proud to say that he's got one of the mutations of cystic fibrosis where the medications that are out on the market are working for him right now.
That's great.
And I saw him about 3 weeks ago. He's in great health, great shape. He looks as good as he did when he was wrestling. And that makes me happy. I can't tell you how happy that makes me. That's more important than anything else in the world, is just the health and the well-being of your friends and your family and your loved ones. South Amboy Little League has meant a lot to a lot of the people in the wrestling community in that area. A lot of them came up and played South Amboy Little League, South Amboy football, etc. A lot of them live in and around South Amboy. Low Life Louis Ramos in and around South Amboy, and his son is actually a part of that South Amboy Youth Athletic Association. Brian Brass, his cousin, runs it. So, I mean, it was a cause that was important to a lot of people. So, basically, why CTW, in my mind, works and is important is because we're choosing causes that actually matter to wrestlers and wrestling fans. Things that they can get behind and get involved in, so that not only are you going to come and you're going to see a really good pro wrestling show, you're going to know that your money is going to something you actually, for lack of a better word, give a crap about.
Exactly, and I like the community focus in choosing something that is close and near and dear to the wrestlers and the fans, that you're including the community, really, in wrestling. And I think that's something unique that, wrestling should strive to do, but doesn't always.
Yeah. So we are on hiatus right now. I mean, I think anybody knows that. There's no advertised shows out there at the moment. That does not mean that I don't actively look, and if a proper venue comes up and a proper cause comes up to support and everything lines up, I will most certainly bring CTW back in the future, maybe even the near future. You never know.
Yeah, that's true with wrestling. You never know. So, but in regards to CTW, where can fans kind of keep their eye out to see, looking for updates and get more information?
Sure. You can check out CharityWrestling.com. It's a little bit antiquated. Like I said, our last show was in September of last year. So that's CharityWrestling.com. You can follow at CTW Charity on Twitter. You can follow me, Colin West, on Facebook. And you can follow CTW Change the World Wrestling on Facebook. I would ask that you like and share that with your friends. Also, by following me, Colin West, on Facebook, you can keep an eye out for some other great promotions in the area, namely the one that we discussed before where I do commentary, and I'm blessed to do commentary, and that would be UWA Elite.
Okay, yeah, let's go and talk about UWA Elite. For some of our fans who are listening in who may not know a lot about the promotion, could you tell them a little bit about UWA Elite, maybe some of the history, where they're located?
Sure. UWA Elite is a company based out of Sayreville, New Jersey. They run in the Middlesex and Somerset County areas. They are currently based out of South River, New Jersey, Their shows run at the Holy Trinity Episcopal Church on Leonardine Avenue in South River, and are usually on the first or second Saturday of every month.